Hello guys, welcome to the Crypto Matrix. I'm Mr. Legend. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the king of the cryptocurrency market, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is down 5.8% over the last 1 week. Bitcoin is down 2.9% over the last 1 month. And the last 1 year has seen Bitcoin decline by 22%. Right now, extreme fear is gripping the cryptocurrency market. We have seen record levels of pessimism hitting the cryptocurrency market. With a lot of market participants expecting lower prices for Bitcoin, expecting lower prices for the altcoin market. Is Bitcoin finding support at the previous all-time highs? Are we just gearing up for another push to the upside? And market participants wrongly bearish at the bottom. Look at Bitcoin's valuation against the US dollar on a weekly time frame. Pay attention to Bitcoin RSI. Look at what has happened in the past and what the RSI is currently telling us will happen in the nearest future. Also look at Bitcoin's market cap, we sit above $1 trillion, and we also look at Bitcoin's valuation against the biggest altcoin we have in the cryptocurrency market, Ethereum. Right now, Bitcoin is down. Right now, altcoins are down. Should we continue buying some Bitcoin, getting ready for that big pump to the upside, or should we run for the hills? We'll talk about that and more in this video. But first, guys, if you want to become a member, if you want to become a legend, don't forget link in the description for members only video coming soon. Let's get down to business. Bitcoin currently trades around $66,389. Bitcoin's all-time high came in on the 6th of October 2025. That was 6 months ago. Bitcoin traded for as high as $126,000. Market participants were excited then. We're singing Kumbaya. We're all going to the moon. But then, that's the wrongest time to be excited at all-time highs, because what happened after that was Bitcoin dumping to Goblin Town. Now, if you look at Bitcoin's US dollar price chart, it just looks like Bitcoin is still finding support around the previous all-time highs where we got to in 2021. We got there in 2021. Bitcoin got rejected around the $69,000 level, the $65,000 level. We got $65,000 in March of 2021. Bitcoin dumped, rallied back to $69,000, got rejected there in October of 2021. We had a full-blown bear market. We saw Bitcoin rally towards the $60,000, $70,000 level, with Bitcoin spent around a year consolidating there. Finally, broke to higher prices, and right now it looks like we're finding support there. Are we finding support there? We're dumping back to Goblin Town as a market participants think. But then if you're bullish, you see that Bitcoin is accumulating, getting ready for a big pump to the upside. Now, if you look at Bitcoin's RSI through the years, it's going to tell us a very, very wonderful story on Bitcoin's RSI through the years. Have those critical points where if you see the RSI trading there, that's been basically a good time to buy. And that's anytime the RSI is getting into the lower band. Now, Bitcoin has gotten to that lower band around 4 times since when Bitcoin's price history started. Bitcoin's RSI, anytime it gets there, that might not prove to be the exact bottom, but that's usually proved to be a bargain price in the nearest future. Let's look at the first time Bitcoin's RSI got to this lower band. That was September of 2014. Bitcoin still went lower than that. The next time Bitcoin touched the band was January of 2015, and that was the bottom. But even if you bought in September of 2014, guys, yes, you might have missed the bottom. Bitcoin was trading at $297. Bitcoin eventually bottomed around the $182 level. It looks so outrageous in hindsight. We're talking about Bitcoin trading at $182, $246. But you have to remember, guys, in that time, Bitcoin trading around the $246 level. Bitcoin dumping to newer lows was significant. We saw Bitcoin dumping by around 44 to 45% before the bottom came in. But when the RSI was in this lower band, it told us that it was a good buying opportunity. Fast forward to 2018, Bitcoin came to that lower band. Where was Bitcoin trading? Around $3,000. And if you go back to 2022, during the COVID sell-off, we saw Bitcoin also trading near that band. Bitcoin first got to the band in June of 2022. So trading around $18,000. That didn't look the exact bottom, but if you bought Bitcoin at $18,000, even at $66,000 right now, you'll be happy you did. You'll be singing Kumbaya as we saw Bitcoin eventually rally towards $126,000, making it pump by more than 576% to the upside. But then again, Bitcoin has gotten to that band, and the market, a lot of market participants are postulating that maybe, just maybe, is what happened in 2022 that's happening right now. In 2022, Bitcoin didn't still drop to lower lows after hitting that band. Maybe it should drop to lower lows right now after hitting the band in February of 2026. And that's why we have two groups of market participants. We have those that still believe Bitcoin can go to 30K, maybe even lower than that. I've had about 40K, 30K, 50K, maybe even 15K, and then there are bulls like me that believe Bitcoin can rally back to $100,000, maybe even to new all-time highs. I believe in the future, in the nearest future, we might see Bitcoin at some point in time trade below $10,000. But before then, I believe we're going to see a pump that is going to be one for the history books. Before the pump comes the dump, and after the dump comes the pump. I believe we have seen the dump already. The next thing we're going to see in the cryptocurrency market is going to be the pump that will send Bitcoin going to the moon. If you look at sentiment right now in the market, extreme fear is gripping the cryptocurrency market front, left, and center. Extreme fear today, extreme fear last week, extreme fear yesterday, and extreme fear last month. But historically, periods of extreme fear has been when market participants have gotten Bitcoin at a bargain price. I don't think this time will be different. The number one job in this market is to buy when the prices are low, to sell when the prices are high. And right now, it looks like the prices are low because sentiment is really, really bad in the cryptocurrency market. And the last video we did about Bitcoin, we talked about Bitcoin cost of production. Bitcoin cost of production sees Bitcoin trading around the $60,000 to the $70,000 level. And that's how much it takes to make one Bitcoin right now. And miners are not selling. I don't know why you'll be selling your Bitcoin. Now, if you look at Bitcoin's performance against the king of all coins in the cryptocurrency market, Ethereum, we saw Bitcoin going parabolic against Ethereum, finally coming to a top in April of 2025. Since then, the first breakdown for Bitcoin against Ethereum saw Bitcoin losing around 57% of its value against Ethereum in the second half of 2025. But then, as we have been dumping to Goblin Town, we have seen Bitcoin gain some of those values back. We have seen Bitcoin go up by more than 39% against Ethereum. You have to remember, guys, anytime market participants are scared, they start flipping their Ethereum back into Bitcoin. So you see Bitcoin start gaining against Ethereum when the market is very, very bearish. But when the market gets bullish, Bitcoin starts dumping to Goblin Town against Ethereum. Look at what happened from the bottom of the last bear market to the end of the bull market. It was just Bitcoin constantly dumping against Ethereum. When Bitcoin is pumping to the upside, the market is very, very bullish for Bitcoin, very, very bearish for all coins. But when Bitcoin start dumping to Goblin Town, the market has turned. It's now bullish for all coins and probably bearish for Bitcoin. If you're looking for those big, big pumps to the upside, you're not going to find them in Bitcoin again. Bitcoin has done its own run to the top. You'll probably find them in the altcoin market. You look at Bitcoin's performance in Q1 of 2026, it's nothing to write home about. Bitcoin lost 22% in Q1 of 2026. In the first few days of Q2 of 2026, Bitcoin is already down 2%. Bitcoin broke a tragic record, almost setting 6 consecutive months of negative price action. But luckily for us, we saw Bitcoin break out of that mold. Luckily for us, we saw Bitcoin break the streak. Bitcoin was negative in October, November, December, January, February, ended the month March with plus 1.8%. Bitcoin is already down 2% in the month of April. Hopefully, before the month of April is over, we'll see Bitcoin recover, pumping to higher prices. Key things to watch out for, guys, in the coming days and coming weeks: Bitcoin's market cap testing that previous all-time highs. I believe Bitcoin's market caps will go set new all-time highs. The previous all-time highs hit at the $2.5 trillion level. For us to ride towards $2.5 trillion, we need to see Bitcoin go up almost 100% from what we're currently trading. And 100% pump might look very outrageous right now. It might look very, very impossible. But Bitcoin has done crazier things in the past. We saw Bitcoin going from as low as 97. We saw Bitcoin market cap going from as low as $970 million. We saw Bitcoin's market cap getting to as high as $2.1 trillion in just under 120 days. So things can move very, very quickly in the cryptocurrency market. You have to have a plan before the market starts moving. You have to know where you're going to exit for some sweet profit. If you look at Bitcoin's RSI against if you look at Bitcoin's RSI, you realize that we're in regions where in the past has always been a good time to buy. I don't think this time is different. I believe this time we'll also see that buying Bitcoin around this price period was a good decision. So guys, drop your thoughts in the comment section. If you're a bull, how high do you see Bitcoin going in the coming days and the coming weeks? If you're a bear, where will you be selling or where will you be buying more Bitcoin if you're anticipating lower prices over the next few days and the next few weeks? Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more awesome videos like this. Turn on the post notifications to get notified anytime I drop a new video, anytime I go live. Remember, guys, when it comes to investing, nothing will pay off more than educating yourself. And investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Invest for the long haul. Don't get too scared. Don't get too greedy. See you guys in my next video.